at my jewels and they see a player ice.
Today we are going over Shop Boyz, technically the forefathers of rap rock. They came out almost a decade before the Travis Scott's and XXXTentacion's came out to play in their black skinny jeans and tight shirts. The Shop Boyz are often classified as one-hit wonders, but all this aside, the trio has released some pretty solid works and then seemingly disappeared off the face of the planet. With that being said, what happened to the Shop Boyz? What up guys, Ali here and welcome to Ali Talks Music. Add me on Instagram at Ali Talks Music as well. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Now let's get into the video. The Shop Boyz are a trio of rappers composed of Demetrius, Meanie Harden, and Richard Fat Stevens, who were close as cousins, and their best friend Rashid Sheed Hightower. Yes, you heard that right. Their names are Meanie, Fat, and Sheed. The trio grew up on the streets of Atlanta in a neighborhood called Bankhead and worked on cars during the day in order to fund their growing interest in making music.
Coming from where we come from, man, everything is like a blessing right now because we came from like a real struggle. Like when none of this was easy, you know what I'm saying? Like we came from the streets of Barn Home Projects. We ain't have much, we ain't have money, we just had each other and our homeboy. You know what I'm saying? So just for us to be here to be able to do this, for y'all to even come to be like, I want to interview the Shop Boyz. That alone is a blessing in itself, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Unlike a lot of rappers who stick to the sound that is popping at the time, the Shop Boyz wanted to do something completely different and settled on combining rock-inspired samples like guitar riffs and drums prominently in their music, pairing it with traditional hood rap. While individually, they were not very successful as rappers, and their rap skills were not necessarily the stuff of legend, they managed to make a working prototype of their sound, which they later dubbed hood rock. Our image has been trendsetters, so we can go anywhere, we can do anything, we can dress any kind of way and make it popular because we are the trendsetters. The group really began taking off after they began taking their tracks to clubs to garner crowd responses to their then eclectic style. By doing this, they managed to make a name for themselves in their neighborhood, and as a result, they captured the attention of producer Richard Fire Harris, who believed in them so much he started giving them free beats. Fire then introduced the Shop Boyz. The local entrepreneur and CEO of On Deck Records, Brian Bingo Ward. Bingo also recognized the potential of the Shop Boyz and allowed them to record in his studio for free. At this point, their success seemed almost guaranteed. Producers and recording studios were giving them their time for free, and the Shop Boyz grabbed onto it with both hands. For about 3 years, they released straight-to-street albums and mixtapes and set the local clubs on fire with their unique bass-heavy sound and skinny jeans. And by around 2007, they knew they had something they could make it big with. The track was called Party Like A Rockstar and is most notable for its heavy, repetitive, but awesome nonetheless guitar riff and a catchy chorus.
That nigga came with Party Like A Rockstar. That nigga called me. That nigga called me. I'm at the house. He like, shit, bro, get your ass at the studio, bro.
Now, like right now,
I'm
this
like,
is it. I felt it, bro. Like I felt this.
He like, bro. He had told me like a week prior. He like, bro, I got this song named Rockstar. I'm like, bro, nah.
Yeah. Nigga like, nah, man.
Nah, man. Hell nah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm on some. I'm skilled doing, bro. Man, I hit that dough. Hit that space bar, man. That beat came on, man, bro. The quickest 8 I could write, bro.
That shit sounded so good, bro. Like I'm telling, it just was a feeling like
overwhelming.
Everybody walked in that studio that day knew that was it.
When the single started doing the rounds at the clubs, the Shop Boyz' local fan base skyrocketed. The track was on heavy repeat in Atlanta and became one of the city's biggest songs of the year, prompting Universal Republic to take an interest. Universal Republic immediately picked it up for international distribution and offered the Shop Boyz a major label recording contract. The boys obviously accepted the deal and immediately began compiling a list composing of both new, unreleased material and some of their crowd favorites at the clubs. Party Like A Rockstar was re-released through the label around 2007 and became an international hit.
See, I describe our style as like a, I would say crunk, but it's not necessarily crunk. We like up-tempo music, you know what I'm saying? Crowd music. Really, I don't know, man. What you think?
I think like you said, like a tempo, like kind of like we like a party, so we like energy.
Initially, it debuted at number 52 on the Hot 100, but Party Like A Rockstar eventually climbed up the charts and peaked at number 2. The guys went from being relatively unknown to having a huge spotlight placed upon them, and after this they kept climbing from success to success. Within 1 month, the song went platinum, and 6 months later, the song was triple platinum. Keep in mind that this song came out when ringtones were still a thing, and Party Like A Rockstar became the best-selling ringtone of 2007. Party Like A Rockstar is a different kind of song. It's not like anything you heard before, so basically our whole avenue is different. So that's what's going to differentiate us from all the other groups that already took off. So as soon as someone tries to copy our style, we're already focused on what's next, because it's going to be different from what we just did. Unfortunately, as you already know by this point, this was the peak of their success. Their debut album dropped around 2007, one called Rockstar Mentality, and at this point it became increasingly apparent that the only successful thing about the album was the lead single. The rest of the album was chaotic and didn't really fit into any particular category. There wasn't much rock on the album, and the songs veered from standard bouncy rap to more of a guitar-infused pop and even a country twang theme. The album was a commercial and critical flop, selling only about 52,000 copies in its first week. It went on to sell 212,000 copies across the board, and it was panned as a failure. The follow-up single, They Like Me, while an okay single on its own, had almost nothing in common with its predecessor single, with few rock elements overall and a rather standard and bouncy generic vibe to it overall.
They don't really know, like they don't really be knowing that I always say it too, they don't know we the niggas that sang up through there still shot, I'm a ball. They don't know Minnie in the Shop Boyz. They don't know, they just think, oh, Rockstar.
The song peaked at number 98 in the Hot 100, and at this point these men went from guaranteed superstars to being forgotten on the rap chart, but despite this, the group tried to remain optimistic. I feel like this, we're here to make music and we love doing it, so we're going to keep doing this. So I know that we're going to be around for a while. I think honestly, the album flopped for a multitude of reasons. Firstly, when they first got onto the scene, their sound was unique, and instead of creating more singles around the same sound, they tried to do something different consistently. Secondly, their lyrics were highly repetitive and generic in quality. And thirdly, every up-and-coming artist or group needs to do external features. This helps them expand their own fan base and makes their songs sound varied and endorsed by legitimate stars. The Shop Boyz did not do any features. After this, the Shop Boyz quite literally simply disappeared. No official statement was released, either by the group or by the label. 1 minute they were popping and the next big thing, and the next minute they were just gone. According to sources, they were dropped by Universal after their album flopped, while others claim that they moved from one label to another or chose to remain independent. According to the Shop Boyz, they chose to go independent and return to their underground territory in interview. We were basically just putting out music in the clubs, to the DJs and whatnot. A lot of stuff we've been doing was like underground, almost, because we came from the underground scene. Even though we made it to the Grammys from Party Like A Rockstar, or what have you, we were still putting music out. And a lot of opportunities that we had, we were turning them down. Like we could have been took a deal. They were trying to do 360 deals and stuff like that, so we decided we'll just be independent. And that was fair. They continued to drop music in Atlanta, although their releases were far and few between. Around 2008, they dropped the single Up Through There, which featured on Zaytoven's Zaytown Classics Volume 1, and let's just say this song did not have the same impact as Party Like a Rockstar. It completely fell into the category of generic bounce rap and missed the Hot 100 and rap charts entirely, becoming their last charting single to date. Around 2009, they dropped a mixtape, Forever Shop, which is almost impossible to track down today, as was the case with a lot of their music. They have different EPs and mixtapes spread across YouTube and Spotify, although there are undoubtedly gaps. Those are probably filled by local releases in Atlanta. The next traceable release was 2011's Still Shop. The 4-track mixtape does another 180 on their sound and features singing and classic R&B style beats and songs with rap verses. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and say that this mixtape is more in the territory of R&B than rap. Later in the year, they dropped another mixtape titled Back to Finish What We Started. The 5-track piece is also a lot closer to R&B, with a lot more vocals and singing, with the exception of the track In the Building, which does touch more on their rap roots again. After that, they released a handful of singles over the next few years, and another mixtape around 2014 titled Community Service Volume 2. Although what happened to Volume 1 is a mystery. Around 2015, they went a little more mainstream again and dropped another EP titled Gift and a Curse, which they promoted a lot more than they did on their previous works. This EP was by far their most standard release yet, as it came complete with modern rap, with random electronic notes and autotune. In all honesty, if another artist made this same project, it would have made a big splash. Instead, it came from the highly unpredictable Shop Boyz and so went mostly unnoticed. Since then, they've released a handful of songs ranging from very country to very EDM as well. Their latest album, 2022's The Amazing Shop Boyz, was released around September and is honestly one of their best offerings to date. It's straight up modern rap and modern R&B and could fit into anyone's playlist without anyone raising an eyebrow. However, I doubt they will stay true to this style, as the only predictable thing about the Shop Boyz is their unpredictability. We try not to be considered as one genre. We said a few months ago that we don't want to be known as one genre, like hip-hop or EDM. We want to be known for being musicians. We want to break barriers down from each genre and just be a total group. That's one thing we strive for. So we don't say, okay, we finna do some EDM music or we finna do some hip-hop music. We do music. That's one thing we stress. Overall, I think the reason that the Shop Boyz did not blow up is because they were too chaotic and were slightly ahead of their time. I respect the fact that they were trying to do something different, but in the end that made it hard for them to acquire loyal fans. In addition, it made it very difficult for the boys to develop any kind of signature sound. With a style that was consistently changing, fans did not know what to expect from the Shop Boyz, and this was a problem. If you want to catch up with the Shop Boyz, you can, although they are unverified on every platform. On Twitter, they use the handle @ShopBoysMusic, but they have not posted anything since 2017. And on Instagram, they go by the name @ShopBoysOfficial. They are incredibly active on Instagram and still perform plenty of local shows in Atlanta. On Spotify, where they are for some reason also unverified, they have over 600,000 monthly listeners, and their most listened to tracks are Party Like a Rockstar, They Like Me, Flexing, and Rockstar Mentality. That's it from me, it's your boy Ali. What happened to the Shop Boyz in your opinion? Let me know down below. New video dropping soon. Also add me on Instagram at Ali Talks Music. Till next time, peace.